You know, you could literally end the Star Wars saga at fucking like Return of the Jedi. Like Return of the Jedi is a finisher to the franchise, right? You can bring out a bunch of like one-offs, you know, explaining things within the galaxy, but once the Emperor is dead, the Death Star's blown up, that's it, bro. Like, what else could they do? And then they just do like a retread of like the original movies with the sequel shit. It's like, oh my god, there's a chick in the desert and she's a Jedi and stand up and fight the fucking bad guys, you know? Like, oh, that doesn't sound like Luke at all. Did he say that? I mean, I don't blame him, man. Like it's so... I mean, the one-offs in Star Wars, like all the weird... Like, people hated Solo, but I'm kind of glad there is a Solo origin story. Even if it was done, like... Of course it could have been done better, but the fact that they went back and, like, made an origin story for the character, you know, whatever... How bad or good, you know, you take it. Shit like that, man. You know, like, you don't gotta keep this dog shit story going with, like, all these old characters coming back and... Just stupid. Finn was cool. They could have made Finn some sort of, like, stormtrooper defector fucking, you know, rise up with a bunch of other stormtroopers and do stuff, but they didn't. Finn was just thrown to the side to be, like, a fucking, like, boring-ass sidekick, bro. What did they do with Phasma? Nothing. Phasma was cool, and they had Gwendolyn Christie, a good fucking actor. A woman who actually stood out as a character in a lot of the things she was in, and yet she was in a fucking suit of armor with her voice, and then she just died and that's it. Like, what? The fuck is wrong with these people? Why did Phasma not come back? Like, that, bro, you get Gwendolyn Christie back to do shit? Like, that's a W. Well, yeah, Boyega got pissed, I remember that. He doesn't like Star Wars. Or maybe, Ryan Johnson and those fucking people, or Kathleen Kennedy. Well, the problem with Boba Fett is they sanitized it for kids. That's the problem with Boba Fett. Oh shit. They sanitized they sanitized Boba Fett to just suit Disney Star Wars. That's all they did. That's it. Boba Fett is a fucking cool character, but in the Book of Boba Fett, he's anything but a cool character. The coolest thing about him in the Book of Boba Fett is he rides a Rancor, but he doesn't do anything. He just gets, like, the shit kicked out of him 99% of the show. Like, there's just nothing about him anymore that makes him, like, I don't know, man. Yeah, Snoke was interesting until he's just some fucking throwaway dog shit clone puppet nobody. You know, like, what? This is weird. I don't like the sequel Star Wars trilogy. I think the prequels, the original trilogy is the best, period. Masterpieces. And then you got fucking the prequel trilogy, which is fine. A little bit memey. It's okay, though. And then the sequel trilogy is just not even worth the watch. It's so boring. All the characters, not memorable. The armor, the gear, everything, boring. Lord of the Rings is good. Lord of the Rings is like... Anyone who says the Lord of the Rings trilogy is bad is just fucking brain damaged. I'm sure there's some people who dislike it, but bro, you got no taste. You objectively have no taste. Like, if that's a thing? No, man. Well, Kylo was interesting because he was the kid of Solo and fucking Leia, right? Like, that's a pretty cool thing going for you. But why do you... Like, I don't know, man. Rey fucking getting this kid over to the light side and shit and them working together. It's like, Rogue One was good. Solo was like, eh. I would say the best Star Wars in a long time, there's two. The best Star Wars in a while was Andor, the show, and Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. I say that was giga shit. Those were, like, really good. Andor was phenomenal. Like, as much as I don't care for the characters in Andor, the show was just so mature. You could tell it wasn't for kids, like, right off the bat. It was so good. And there was, like, no aliens, no lightsabers, nothing. It was, like, a very grounded, the people of the galaxy, right? That's what made it so fucking good. And also, I mean, directing and everything, and Disney probably not having a hand in it obviously helps, but, like, you know. Obi-Wan was shit. Boba Fett was shit. Mando Season 3 was, quite nasty, I'm not gonna lie. Mando Season 3 was just... Bro, you're walking in circles with that show. That show went nowhere. Season 3 was boring. Like, the whole thing was about reclaiming Mandalore, sure, but, like, a lot of the episodes were filler, boring, bland, the directing made no sense in The Mandalorian Season 3. There were so many episodes where it was completely pointless for what they were doing, not to mention, half the shit they were doing, they were walking in circles. Like, what are you on about, bro? I don't know if you, like... Man, it's just, it's bad. Game of Thrones was good until, like, what, the last season? Or two or something? Game of Thrones was amazing. The Hound is one of my, I mean, the Hound was my favorite character from that show, for sure. I've seen The Rings of Power. Better Call Saul's amazing. Breaking Bad's amazing. I mean, there's nothing to say about those two shows outside of just, it's good as fuck. Like, phenomenal. Really fucking good. Like, bro. You know what's... I mean, when you're watching Better Call Saul, you're rooting for Saul. It's like you want to root for him, but at the same time you don't. It's weird, man. They did a really good job at, like, portraying him as an absolute fucking scumbag, but for some reason, you wanted him to not get caught and kind of, like, just keep doing his thing, you know? Same with Walt. Yeah, well, Walter kind of, like... I don't know. It's weird. It's like they're all bad guys, but you want them to do stuff. You want them to, succeed. The one thing I don't like, though, I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan of Jesse. I thought Jesse was kind of boring. I liked Walter more than Jesse. Although the best character... Dude, the best character in Breaking Bad, and you can't say anything... You can't... There's no argument as to what I'm about to say. The best character was Mike. Mike was the best. Nah, Mike was, like, absolute the best. Yeah, Mike was the best. Yeah. I didn't like, what's that fucking, El Camino? I wasn't a fan of that shit. I thought it was whatever. It was just kind of boring. Oh, you know who I also liked was Hank. Hank Schrader. Hank was good. Mike and Hank. I think everyone kind of liked Hank. I, 'cause, 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 ' That's a good fucking show, man. Really good fucking show. So goofy. Bro, the entirety of Breaking Bad, like, the show fell apart, like, in lore. In the actual show, it fell apart all because Hank took a shit. If Hank didn't have to take a shit and he had to pee, I mean, who knows how long the show could have been. Foiled by taking a shit. Like, I mean, Walt was gonna die, so he probably would have went out pretty big, you know? Hell yo, buddy, I see you, man. Dwarford and Jones, thank you guys, I see you. My alerts are broken, but I see you. Pulp Fiction. Man, I haven't seen that movie in so long. Speaking of that movie, though, fucking what's his name? What's that dude? Who's the bald guy? Samuel Jackson? He needs to return to Star Wars, and he actually, like, no matter how bad the show that he's gonna be in is, we just gotta see him. Like, give me Mace Windu again. I don't really care too much about Jedi, but, like, you gotta like Mace Windu, bro. Samuel Jackson as a Jedi. Like, fucking crazy. Nah, he wasn't the only Black Jedi. They had, I know recently the dude who played Jar Jar came back to be a Jedi. He saved Grogu. Spoilers. I mean, the show's shit, so who cares, but, you know. People didn't like Jar Jar. What was so bad about Jar Jar? Was he just fucking annoying? I didn't really find him annoying. I found him kind of like a dipshit type of funny. Like, I'm like, you know, I don't know. I mean, even if he was goofy, Star Wars needs goofy. You know, Star Wars isn't all extremely serious all the time, blah, 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 right? I mean, Star Wars was made for kids, so adults getting mad at, like, The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and all this shit, I mean, like, in the end, it's kind of, it was for kids. It's now owned by Disney, which has a lot of kid supporters, right? Like, we could have opinions, but, you know, Jar Jar Binks being in Star Wars, I mean, it's, again, for kids. I just wish they would do more adult-themed Star Wars stuff, mature, because the universe isn't kid-friendly. Like, the movies can be kid-friendly, but then you've got, like, in-universe shit. It's vile. There's a lot of horrible things happening. It's just the shows are all sanitized, right? needed even as a kid. I mean, I guess he was kind of that kid character that people, like, kids kind of thought, ah, he's so funny, haha. Because if there wasn't him, who would there be in The Phantom Menace, right? Like, young Anakin, is that it? I don't blame it, man. Disney's a shit joke right now, bro. These shows are pretty awful. I don't even fuck with Marvel. I don't give a shit about... I think Marvel's the most boring universe ever. At least with the cinematic universe. Then again, subjective, but... Reggie, thank you. I mean, the first fucking Iron Man movie was great. The Blade movies, when they had first come out, those were pretty alright. Everything is kind of just, like, jokey now. Like, these shows just can't take themselves seriously. Or these movies can't do it. That's the problem. It's like, when are you going to take yourself seriously, man? Blade is Marvel. Is he not? Is Blade DC or Marvel? Yeah, Blade's Marvel. Whatever the fuck She-Hulk was, bro. I don't know, man. Who is that show even for? Who's She-Hulk for, man? What's that new fucking Scooby-Doo show? What's that shit for as well? Oh, I can build items outside of base. I completely forgot. I forgot that was a mechanic of my champ. Lol. Just kill. Who killed me? Well, Velma was... I don't even know what Velma was, bro. No one likes that show. Again, who is it made for? I feel like a lot of shows these days, a lot of things people do have no soul. It's money is the first priority. They don't actually enjoy what they do. They just try to make a product that appeals to more people to make more money. There's no soul behind anything most people do these days. That's why I don't support any of it. That's why I don't buy any of this shit. Like there's no point, man. It's just mindless fucking crap. I should sound like a boomer. Fuck this new shit, man. It's crap. There's no quality anymore. Like, imagine not sounding like a boomer when talking about half this shit, though. Like, seriously. Again, if there's no soul behind it, what's the point of, like, I guess entertainment's entertainment. Whatever you find fun to watch, that's cool, you know? But, like, I want some more substance behind it. I want, like thought and heart put into it, you know? Having someone actually enjoy what they do. And giving you a product. Unlucky. Where's my team? This guy's full HP. Most new games come out unfinished at $70. Yep. Trash. Trash. Yeah, I don't think sounding like a boomer is really an insult. In today's society, I think more people need to sound like boomers, bro. I don't know, man. Maybe not so much like... I don't know. Just shit these days is just weird, bro. It's trash. Vitas, thank you. I'll ask Ivana. I mean, we need new emotes, we need badges, we need a bunch of shit. Well, here's the problem about doing anything. The people know the formulas, right? Although I could be wrong in saying it, because here's the thing. I say we know the formulas, and then I see people releasing fucking, like the Velma show, so clearly they don't know the formulas, right? Like, I guess the Velma show is supposed to appeal to all these, like, I don't even know what you'd call them, fucking losers? Like, all these, like, young, douchey kids who are very much into, like, this meta-humor shit. Like, I guess that's the case, but, like, bro. Liberals. Okay. Alright, bro. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, you'd think they have the formulas down and they don't take risks and they don't do anything, right? But then you see Velma and it's like, well, this is set up for failure. Wednesday was okay. Nah, I thought Wednesday was good. I thought it was actually not bad. It was okay. I didn't mind it. I think if we're gonna compare, bringing back the Addams Family versus bringing back Scooby-Doo, I think the Addams Family wins. I think Wednesday is infinitely better than the Velma show, right? Like, whatever war crime they unleashed on the populace with the Velma show versus, yeah. Well, they didn't feel like an OG thing. But here's the thing about Wednesday, though. Like, you could say this. The Velma show was a different chapter in Scooby-Doo. That is correct. But it has nothing to do with Scooby-Doo. Whereas the Addams Family is her going off to, like, a boarding school or something. It's her chapter. It's different. Right? It's still the Addams Family. The family's still there. They're still living with each other, and all the weirdos are there. But it's Wednesday's chapter. Right? You could say, oh, but it's Velma's chapter 2. It's not, because they butcher every character and rewrite all of them to be an absolute cunt. Like, it's completely different. The Wednesday show is okay. I didn't mind it. Yeah, there was no Scooby. They actually mentioned Scooby. I think later on. Andor was good, yeah. I mean, look, it's also subjective, right? There's no objective opinion when it comes to what you like, because what you like is what you like. There's no objective better, whatever. I mean, we could say this. objective fact, opinion, whatever. Like, The Empire Strikes Back is better than the Velma movie, or the Velma show, right? I think that is an objective fact, but, I mean, you can't really compare the two. But maybe the person loves the Velma show and they hate Star Wars. That's a pretty insulting comparison. Oh, I'm just saying. Top 3 favorite movies: Aliens, The Thing, and I'd have to think about a third one. Aliens and The Thing, though, are like top 3 easily. That's not even a question. Moo, thank you, bro. X-Files was good, yeah, until the later seasons. I don't think Lord of the Rings is in my top 3, no. It's extremely good, but it's not top 3 for me. I've seen The Mist. The 2007 Mist was pretty good. It's alright. Well, Terminator's really good, yeah. I mean, all the older... I mean, you could say action hero movies in general from, like, the 80s and 90s, yeah. There's a lot of good movies out there. I'm just gonna say The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, and the Aliens are, like, top 3. Third movie, no idea. I love Total Recall's amazing. Yeah, Total Recall was great. And then they did like the remake, and it was like whatever, it was fine. But bro, that original one, ay. Fucking I mean, RoboCop, like The Running Man, like bro, come on. Predator. Demolition Man. I don't know if you've seen, bro, they had the Twins movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were twins, biological twins, but it was like an experiment, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was like the... he was like the experiment gone right, and Danny DeVito was like the weird failure or something. And it was Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to reunite with his brother. Something like that. I can't remember. It's kind of been a while. Arnold gets pregnant. Yeah. What the fuck was that movie? I never seen that one. There's one where Arnold gets pregnant. I'm giving birth. Something. I don't know, man. Like, it's... Starship Troopers was amazing. That's up there. Step Brothers? So weird. I didn't see that one, bro. Oracle, thank you. Kindergarten Cop? Yeah, it's not a tumor. Fucking Total Recall, Jingle All the Way. Nah, nothing works. What are we doing? Ace Ventura was great. Dude, I don't know if you remember this or you've even heard about it, but like they made a kid Ace Ventura, and it was so bad that I think it was, it had, like, single-digit rating across the board from, like, every reviewer ever. Hercules in New York. Junior was the movie. It wasn't Jim Carrey, I'll tell you that. Jim Carrey was not a part of that movie. Like, it was like The Son of the Mask, but very bad. Like, worse than that. Ignite any Teemo player for $15. Well, I can't do that. Ignite any Teemo in the next 2 hours for $1,000. You're trolling, man. I see your donations. It's just not showing up on screen because it's all bugged out. Yeah, they literally brought Cannibal Corpse in to play in Ace Ventura. They had Cannibal Corpse in that movie, I'm not even kidding. That was a weird one. Yeah. Naked Gun was funny. No, they were in the main Ace Ventura movie. Wasn't like the first one or something? They were in there. They were young. I think they still had Barnes, their first vocalist. District 9 was good. Yep. District 9 was great. You know, fucking, what was I gonna say? The people who did District 9, who was it? Neil Blomkamp or something? Doesn't he? He owns a studio called Oat Studio. And he put out a bunch of short films, and they're really fucking creepy and really good. They're on YouTube. You can see them. They're fucking weird, man. They even got Sigourney Weaver to be in one of them. Good times. I don't think I've put wards down at all. I'm not gonna lie. I have like 0 vision score. No, I haven't seen Hike Alone. A Real Steel. Cloverfield was interesting. I think they... You know, they came out with a bunch of Cloverfield movies, and the later ones were fucking kind of like garbage. They were kind of weird. Like, the first one, it was my favorite, but... Really? You guys liked 10 Cloverfield Lane where they're living in, like, the basement? I thought that one was kind of like... Was that the Cloverfield Lane or the Paradox one in space? Like, I don't know, man. You know, it's a pretty deep, like, rabbit hole at that point, you know? Sci-fi... That's what I thought. They tried to make it into a sci-fi series where, like, the creatures... weren't they from, the ocean, though? Didn't they live in the ocean or something and they came up? Because they had, like, a bunch of creatures on them that would jump out and start, like, biting people and stuff, and it was just, like, a parasitic, thing. It wasn't even, like, part of the creature. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making a movie monster and wanting to do more with it, right? I guess that's what they did want to do. Braveheart a long time ago, yeah. VHS, baby. Anyone remember Waterworld? That was a weird one. Fucking Waterworld. Like, the opening scene was, like, he was just going through the ocean or whatever. Or the earth, at that point, really. And, he had to, like... It was where they took pisses. The guy took a piss into a machine, and he, like, put a pill in it or something and, like, cleared the piss out and then drank it. That's, like... I mean, that's what I remember. Interstellar was amazing. That's a good movie. Well, Waterworld was a movie by Universal, I believe. It was a movie. They had a stunt show with it as well, I believe, a long time ago to go with it. Because usually, fucking... I mean, they did that with The Mummy as well. Pan's Labyrinth was good. Labyrinth was good. Labyrinth was a great movie. I love that shit. The Henson Company, man, like all the puppets and shit, all the practical effects, that's so timeless. They look so amazing. It's honestly really fucking crazy good. Indiana Jones was great. You know, I didn't even realize this until later. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. You know Indiana Jones was a Lucas film? And it started the whole Lucas archives where they kept, like, all the props and everything. I didn't realize that. I thought Lucas was more of, like, the Star Wars stuff, but Indiana Jones is fucking great. That's a good one. I guess I'm not as old as I make myself out to be. Yeah, Spielberg. Yep. It was good, man. It was good. I've seen the Brothers Grimsby, yeah, the elephant scene. That was horrible. The elephant scene in the Brothers... That's a good movie. If you haven't seen the Brothers Grimsby and you like the Borat humor and all that crap, the Brothers Grimsby is such a stupid good movie. It's... I mean, that elephant scene is disgusting. Like, that's awful. That is... That elephant... Okay, so the idea is that these two brothers are on the run, and they're in, like, Africa or something, and they're running away from, like, enemy agents, and the agents are coming to kill them, and they have to hide. And so what they do is they find a herd of elephants, and you'd think, you know, just go hide in the herd of elephants, and that's what they do, but they do that literally. They hide in an elephant's vagina. They jump into the vagina, and then there's, like, they're sitting in there, and then there's, like, a whole scene where, like, a bunch of other elephants come out, and they start, like, they get covered in jizz. It's awful. Like, it's a funny fucking movie, but... It's like Ace Ventura when he's coming out of the fucking, like, rhino's ass, but in extreme graphic detail. It's a comedy. It's very funny, and very disgusting. That was a weird one. And they even had, like... I mean, it was just stupid. It was so stupid. I mean, I'll give him that, bro. That movie had balls. There was a lot of shit in that movie that, like... was so fucking bizarre. It was funny, though. Little Nicky? No. I mean, it was all practical. The whole scene was practical, bro. Like, these guys got covered in, like, fake... anyway, you have to go watch it. It's weird. It's fine. I don't know how they beat us, to be honest. I think our comp is too broken. Wizard of Oz. Shredded asbestos is snow. Yikes. Gamer, thank you. Ace, thank you. Pirates of the Caribbean is fine. Not like the biggest... I'm not like a massive super fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, but the movies are good.